In August 2003, a Florida mother named Mary Lou Combs drove away from her home in a red Plymouth Neon, and then she vanished. There were no witnesses, no crime scene, and her car was never found. She left behind no forensic footprint for investigators to follow. When investigations hit a wall with a total lack of physical traces, they fall into an impenetrable investigative void. This is a phenomenon often grouped into the Missing 411 documentary culture, cases where the absence of a scent trail or a struggle defies conventional explanation. But the human mind hates a vacuum. When we lack hard data to explain how a person can simply disappear, we instinctively fill that empty space with panic, urban myths, and elaborate conspiracies. You see this instinct play out constantly in modern folklore. Take the recent viral claims circulating online, and even in Congress, about massive, unmovable craft allegedly hidden beneath classified windowless buildings in foreign countries. When facts aren't available, imagination takes over. Solving these mysteries requires concrete evidence to fill the void. But as we'll see, the tools we rely on to gather that evidence carry wide margins of error, and the institutions managing the results often operate under their own sets of pressures. Consider the highly sensitive biological tools we use to track missing persons. Recently, millions watched the viral Katie Santry case unfold online, as 2 cadaver dogs signaled human remains in her suburban Ohio backyard. This single event sparked massive internet hysteria. Police eventually excavated the site, and the outcome was entirely anticlimactic. They dug up the yard but found 0 human remains. The dogs had alerted to the remnants of an old rug buried in the dirt. This diagram illustrates exactly how a false positive happens in working dogs. When handlers cross-train a dog using animal parts, like pig bones, or even expose them to live human sweat, the molecular inputs overlap. Over time, the dog's scent discrimination becomes permanently confused. This gap between a behavioral response and a physical reality proves that even a high-confidence alert requires independent verification. That margin of error extends to human visual perception as well. In December 2024, widespread panic erupted over the New Jersey coast as civilians, police, and politicians reported rogue drone swarms chasing boats and spraying mysterious mist over coastal towns. Internal government flight logs eventually proved there were no drones. The objects hovering in the sky were actually commercial passenger jets on a routine approach to JFK Airport. This graphic shows the physics behind the optical illusion. Atmospheric turbulence caused condensation to form on the plane's wingtips. When combined with the sharp S-curve of their flight path towards the runway, the viewing angle made the massive jets look like stationary, hovering objects. The Transportation Security Administration possessed the flight logs proving this almost immediately. Yet the administration withheld the granular evidence for weeks, allowing the panic to brew while urging Congress to grant them expanded counter-drone authorities. The consequences of ignoring empirical data reach a breaking point when public safety is on the line. In the summer of 1975, over 1,000 visitors and employees at Crater Lake National Park became violently ill with a mystery gastrointestinal disease. Youth conservation workers tested the water supply and found hard empirical evidence, coliform bacteria. Yet park leadership and the local lodge owners vehemently denied the findings, insisting the mass sickness was just a regional flu. The denial escalated into an active cover-up. Management deliberately ordered seasonal patrol rangers to remove public health warning signs that had been posted above the park's drinking fountains. This terrain cross-section shows the forensic test that broke the cover-up. Investigators poured green fluorescent dye into a hidden sewer line above the park spring. Within 40 minutes, glowing green water flowed downward directly into Munson Springs, the primary drinking water source for the entire park. The physical proof was undeniable. The crisis revealed that even when hard evidence exists, institutional self-preservation will often fight to keep the truth buried until it is forced into the light. Our minds are biologically wired to panic over the unexplained, and our institutions are structurally prone to hiding their mistakes. Overcoming those barriers requires an intense dedication to objective data. We see this today with cold case units reopening investigations, like the 1993 Las Vegas murders of an Elvis impersonator and a local woman. That woman was Mary Hoffman, a former beauty queen who had reigned as Miss Nevada in 1989. Grounding these investigations in the tragic human reality of the victims is what drives detectives to seek justice decades after the files went cold. Instead of relying on early rumors or the panic of the initial crime wave, modern cold case units are launching systemic reviews. In Las Vegas, Metro's investigators have formed new partnerships specifically to highlight these cases for the public. The wave of breakthroughs hitting the headlines in 2025 and 2026 isn't a coincidence. It is the direct result of these units using advanced forensic technologies to re-examine DNA and physical evidence that was previously impossible to process. Mysteries will always exist. But true closure only happens when we pierce our own flawed perceptions, demand transparency from our institutions, and let the undeniable evidence do the talking.